Jeff.
All it'll cost you is your soul.
He growled at me in a voice like tumbling rocks. What do you want with my soul? Is it like currency for ethereal creatures or what? I couldn't help curiously asking.
It's food, a rare delicacy.
His answer blatantly baffled. Looking over his malnourished form, I couldn't help but wonder if the buffet was shortcoming, or if souls just didn't provide as much nutrition as it is believed. What would me being without a soul do to me? Would I remain the same, or die in a limited time, or some other thing? I inquired, seriously considering the deal since I felt bad for the poor creature that stood starving before me. Apparently, the so-called demon sensed I was thinking about it because he began to salivate just a little, though he tried to hide it.
You remember Hitler? Of course you do. Everyone remembers Hitler. And he's a common example we used. Hitler had good intentions. He planned to make the world a better place. He fed us his soul in exchange for power, so that he could chase his plans without being hindered. The lack of a soul is what helped him perform so many atrocities, which led to many breakthroughs.
Wait, so you mean our advancement is in part due to some of Hitler's work? I was shocked.
Yes. While he lacked what you humans called morals while performing his tasks, they did provide a great deal of data that helped advance some fields. His lack of morality was due to his lack of a soul, he further explained. My wish had been for a never-ending amount of money, for which I planned to use to further the housing situation. Many people roamed around homeless in my town, simply because they couldn't afford it, which was to be blamed on the lack of housing available, because the cost of rent was too high, supply and demand, which left a few houses empty and many families either sharing a home or roaming the streets. But I didn't want my good intentions to become corrupted. Tell you what, Jeff. That's what I'll call you since I can't even hope to pronounce the name you gave me. I'll prepare for you a human meal, let you eat it, and determine how much of a soul it is worth. If it's about as filling for you as a quarter of a soul would be, then you give me a quarter of what I asked for. If it is twice as filling as a soul, then you give me twice what I ask for, I proposed. That's going outside of the norm for how things are usually done,
Jeff, as I now think of him, grumbled. A little persuading, and then I was standing over the stove, preparing the grandest meal from what I had at my disposal. I really wanted to impress this demon, while at the same time hopefully giving him the nourishment he was sourly lacking. I made a full chicken, some broth on the side, with biscuits, pies, ham, potato salad, deviled eggs, not unlike a Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving meal, minus the turkey, because I don't like turkey, and therefore do not keep any in my house. Once everything was prepared and laid out in front of Jeff, I held my breath in anticipation as he munched down on everything I had fixed. He even ate the bones from the chicken, though I'm not sure if that was just that he could consume anything. I mean, they can eat a soul, so why not bones too? Or just a measurement of how hungry the poor thing was. When he finished everything, I noticed his ribs poked out a little less than before, and his eyes no longer had that hungry gleam to them.
While that was more delicious and enjoyable than a soul normally is, it misses a spot that only a soul can typically touch. However, I could live off of this and forgo soul consumption, much like how you could forgo sweets, Jeff stated. I sat back and thought about that. There's a special craving that only chocolate or other such candies can satisfy. While I could live the rest of my life without them, I would still desire them from time to time. However, on the flip side, chocolate wouldn't sustain my hunger by itself. Using the sweets analogy you just provided, I could begrudgingly never eat sweets again, if the alternative was to only be able to ever eat sweets. That would make this thrice as valuable as a soul. Yet I'm using your current state as a standard for which to judge other demons by, in that I suspect all of them are hungry. So Jeff and I struck a deal. You see, demons can't pay like a normal person, so they do favors instead. I've gotten money.
only as much as I needed because I never wanted to get too greedy with it. There are more than enough housing units for the townsfolk. People are protected. This town is the safest town you'll ever visit. Demons guard the town and defeat any living darkness that tries to enter. Just last night, a tourist came into our town to rest in a motel, but went missing in the night. The demons confessed that he was a serial rapist, and as per our agreement, they ate his soul. The demons always snack on the soul of the wicked whenever it passes through. If a resident proves to be turning wicked, they are given 24 hours notice and $5,000 to leave town. Any failure to do so leads to their consumption. Jeff, having been the first of many, runs the business, and every night every house has at least one demon join them for supper. He's now my best friend and helps me make dinner every night. He tried doing it himself once, but demons seem incapable of cooking. They can follow directions to the letter, and each time it tastes like sulfur. Even sliced tomatoes. I guess that's beneficial to us, because if demons stopped depending on us for meals, then we wouldn't have anything to trade with them anymore.
It's in the dustiest books that you may find the best stories.